This submission showcases an innovation and collaboration that has been put together to assist retirement funds in not just complying with Joint Standard 2 on cybersecurity and cyber resilience, but to build strong frameworks and capabilities to protect their members and to do so efficiently and at a reasonable cost. The Joint Standard is a necessary guide to help protect data, assets, and operations in our industry, given the rise in cyber attacks over the last couple of years. Just alone in 2023, the Mail and Guardian reported a 19% increase in cyber attacks in South Africa, and 220 million email threats were detected, with Postbank losing 18 million rand through such attacks. Retirement funds are being targeted, as evidenced by the attack on the GEPF in 2024 and Australian super funds in April of 2025, where member accounts were hacked and money was stolen. South African retirement funds have become prime targets with the introduction of Two-Pot and the increased transactions off the back thereof. So we need to build the security around our retirement funds like we do around our homes. And that is where the Joint Standard 2 comes into play, focusing on both cybersecurity, i.e., where we put in place protection mechanisms to help prevent attacks like firewalls, and cyber resilience, where we seek to identify attacks early, create awareness in our circles, and recover quickly if we are attacked. The Joint Standard provides a set of minimum requirements that financial institutions should follow, which includes retirement funds, their administrators, consultants, asset managers, banks, and more. In a nutshell, the standard requires that trustees and financial institutions take responsibility for ensuring that they have sufficient protection in place, and that they must do so by creating an inventory of providers and risk points that are assessed and held accountable for putting in place the necessary protection. It encourages trustees to seek assistance from relevant experts in this field, and that therefore they should set aside budget to fulfill these responsibilities. And that's where we have seen a dilemma in the market, with many funds and advisors gawking at the exorbitant costs being quoted and therefore choosing to interpret the Joint Standard in vastly different ways. Some choosing to do nothing, many seeking to minimize what gets done in order to save costs. So that is where ICTS Legal Services decided to innovate in our approach to be able to bring the necessary services and expertise to the table so that funds and their providers can achieve strong security without breaking the bank. We started by taking our training course on the Joint Standard 2 and turning it into a fully online course, where learners can access the learning in their own time without needing to employ facilitators, rent rooms, etc. This has proven to be extremely successful, as it is a more convenient and less costly way of learning. The course looks as follows. It has a combination of video and the written word, plus exercises included for the learners to follow. There are interesting articles and videos included as links for the learners to ultimately learn from real-life examples. All learners are able to comment in the comment section in each and every single module. The course itself is broken down into several modules. And should the learner want to speak to the facilitator, they simply click on the relevant button to send them an email. Each module is completed with an assessment of 10 multiple choice questions, and the results are generated immediately. Off the back of that, a certificate is ultimately issued once the learner has completed the course. The course is also available in mobile. In order to get customers ready for the 1 June 2025 deadline for Joint Standard 2, we also standardized a cybersecurity policy or plan, if you will, that clients could amend as they need, and also provided them with standard SLA amendments for their third-party providers. In addition, questionnaires tailored to the nature and risk of the parties being assessed were provided. This allowed for quick turnaround to help get clients compliant. Now, moving into phase 2 of the ongoing monitoring and independent assessments, we have needed to bring in the necessary cyber technical expertise to assess responses from providers, objectively score or rate them, and compare to industry standards and draft the ongoing risk management plan. Here we have partnered with the Cyber Security Institute, a fully independent cyber expert. We have also created a system to facilitate the ongoing monitoring and data collection across the industry, in which the independent assessments are managed and stored, ultimately feeding into a dashboard. To achieve this, we have partnered with Datagate, who are specialists in risk management systems and cyber risk in particular. The system has all the necessary risk models and industry standards built in and serves as a store of information as providers' responses are verified. It saves time and effort for all parties involved and becomes the go-to place for trustees to get all their reporting. The system is called the Cyber Risk Assessment System, or CRAS. It is accessible via the web through multi-factor authentication. Trustees can get access to reporting and monitor progress through dashboards and other reporting tools, which are all bespoke for those trustees. All questionnaires are stored on the system, and the system has a questionnaire builder should we need to bespoke the questions for a particular provider or client. The Cybersecurity Institute comes into the system, takes a look at the suppliers per client, and goes about their job of reviewing those provider responses and verifying them. A dashboard is provided so that we can keep track of which responses have been reviewed and which are still pending review. And ultimately, once we have completed the exercise of reviews, we then draft a risk management plan and begin the process of engaging with the trustees, followed by the providers in order for them to mitigate the risks that we have identified. All of this is stored on the system in one place for our customers. So what is it that we're now bringing as a result of the innovation and collaboration that we have undertaken? Well, firstly, this is a unique three-way collaboration. ICTS Legal Services has been able to bring to the table the required full independence, the technical expertise, automation, and ultimately interpretation of the technical aspects at a very reasonable cost. This has been borne out by the prestigious appointments we have received to date. Ultimately, that is the vision of ICTS Legal Services, to support retirement funds and their providers in an expert manner and to do so cost effectively. We serve funds and their trustees and their providers in not just implementing and complying with new legislation, but also in providing second opinions, assisting with rule amendments, adjudicator complaints, and more. We are proud of these recent developments related to the Joint Standard 2, and thank you for taking the time to listen to this submission.